Capitol Hill is also reacting to the appointment of a special counsel. Today, the House Judiciary Committee announced it will launch an investigation.
Meanwhile, the chair of the House Oversight and Accountability Committee says he also expects full cooperation from the White House and President Biden's attorneys. Kentucky Congressman James Comer and his panel also launched a probe into the documents linked to President Biden. Comer says he is concerned the president compromised intelligence sources and methods.
Joining us now is CBS News senior investigative correspondent Catherine Herridge. Catherine, thanks for joining us. First off, you recently sat down with Republican Congressman Comer to discuss the documents controversy. What did he say?
Well, Michelle and Elaine, good afternoon. The congressman has a number of requests out to multiple committees as well as the White House. And what he told us is the steps that he's willing to take. If the White House does not fully comply by your deadline, will you issue subpoenas?
Yes.
So we could see subpoenas as early as the end of January or early February.
We'll issue subpoenas if they don't respond as soon as we can. And you know the process, Catherine, for congressional subpoenas. We have a very experienced staff on the House Oversight Committee. We're ready to go. But obviously, before you issue subpoenas, you, in good faith, request the information. And, right now I'm cautiously optimistic that we'll start getting some information in.
How high up are you willing to go in the White House with those subpoenas?
Well, we'll just have to see what happens. I don't want to speculate now. I'm optimistic that they will comply with our request because, remember, Catherine, they were outraged over the same thing that Donald Trump apparently did. They expected cooperation from that side. So, their chickens have come home to roost, so to speak, and we expect the same level of cooperation from the Biden administration.
Okay, so we're talking about subpoenas on the table for the White House, the archives, and the Treasury Department.
Yes, and hopefully we won't have to issue those subpoenas because that's what the Oversight Committee's role is. We're supposed to oversee the federal government. We're supposed to oversee tax dollars. We're supposed to oversee any issues that could be of concern for national security. So there's no reason this White House shouldn't be working with the Republican majority and the chairman of the House Oversight Committee.
And for a little more context, the Congressman's committee has requested records from the White House and the National Archives that have to do with these Biden records that had classification markings. And the Treasury Department is part of a separate probe that he's running into the business dealings of Hunter and James Biden. Michelle and Elaine.
Catherine, did Representative Comer address why he and other Republicans' response to this scandal is so different from their response to the Mar-a-Lago controversy?
Well, in terms of the legal picture, he argued that with President Trump, he had the ultimate declassification authority. And in his view, that's what made it different with Vice President Biden's records. But he also acknowledged that there's clearly a political thread here. He said there was outrage by the Democrats in response to the classified records that were found at Mar-a-Lago, and the Republicans were responding in kind.
All right. Catherine Herridge in Washington for us. Catherine, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And you can catch more of Catherine Herridge's interview with Congressman Comer tonight on The Weekender at 7 p.m. Eastern here on CBS News.